welcome to Monday night, the gate of trust. That was good to see. The gate of trust, the duty of the heart. Tonight the topic is the 5 letters of Teshuva. At least once in a year we have to speak about the power of Teshuva. What's the meaning, what's the definition? And I believe that this is applied not only to Teshuva, it's applied to our life and the business ways, it's applied to our Shalom Bayit, and it applied between us and our spouse, our date. When we build in homes, what is the 5 steps that a human being have to remember? What's the 5 things that you have to do in order to have that your Teshuva will be accepted? That your Teshuva, that you're going to guarantee yourself to have Ktiva v'chatima tova. First of all, I want to start by saying thank you. Thank you very much for each one of you that making the extra mile to come here for the whole year. The Almighty God will bless you, Be'ezrat Hashem, the same way that you find the times to come for Shir Torah. The Almighty God will find the times to sign and seal you. Twice, this year twice. Most of you is not married. So you're going to get signed and sealed twice. One of them by our Father, the Almighty God. Ktiva v'chatima tova, l'shana tova matuka. And the other one, ladies, is going to be by your husband. This year, chud achat, chud b'shkur, b'li neder, b'li ayin hara. That you're going to be signed and sealed when you're going to get your ketubah under the chuppah. L'chaim tovim v'shalom. The Dr. Daniel and Dr. Albert, the 2 greatest doctors in the whole 5 barrel. The Almighty God will bless them. והריקותי לכם ברכה עד בלי די. וכל אשר הם עושים, השם מצליח באדם. To raise the children לתורה, לחופה ולמעשים טובים. And to Dr. Daniel, בעזרת השם, that your children will become תלמידי חכמים בעזרת השם. The same way that you love Torah, you love קדושה, you love טהרה. So nice. And to expand the partnership with Dr. Albert with as many stores, let's make balagan. This year is a year of change, year of improvement, year of yeshivot, kolanim. The Dr. Albert is well, the same blessing. But for you, I'm going to add in something extra. Dr. Albert is so good that I'm blessing you and Esther to see you in a small version. Many you, Dr. Albert, many you. Amen. Most likely this baby is going to come so polite. When he's going to come out, he's going to say, Ima, perhaps, just perhaps, like the own father, he will explain why you need to eat and why the food is good and what the natures, like Dr. Albert is expert to do it. Ladies and gentlemen, what is the 5 steps of Teshuvah? Come, Rabbi Zusha Manipoli. Rabbi Zusha Manipoli one time came millennia, and he said, in Teshuvah, the word Teshuvah, the hint, the 5 steps is, few things in charge, few act, not change, few act, how they said, אחראים על עתיד הילד, in charge of the future of the baby boys. Which act is the most important act when you want to have a righteous child? We are Bukharian, we love the sandok. You know sandok? This is my sandok. I love it, only by Bukharian. When you're going in, you see Bukharian. Syrian also, they like, but I never saw something like this. You see old men, I'm his sandok. This is my sandok. 3 generations, the guy Bobo Colon. 90 years old, my sandok, not sandok. Sandak is important. But they have something more important from sandak. What can be more important from sandak? Do you know what's more important from sandak? What? What influence the life of a child? Influence the life. David, what is influence the life of a child forever?
Their environment.
Their
environment.
Beautiful. When he's a baby. He's a baby, 8 days. Which environment? What, he's going to the clubs? He's going with his friends? What exactly is he doing? He's like this. He's looking. What I'm doing here? Why good things happen to good people? Where I am? You just came out from the which environment? I agree with you, but not in 8 days. What exactly, Binyamin, influenced the life of the babies? Ladies, you know what? His names. Your name is your essence. When you call a name to your babies, you have to be very careful which names you use. The name is the essence of a human being. I know that today it became a style to call, I'm not going to mention names, I don't want you to get offended, or maybe one of your family have names like this. In our community, many names have zero source from the Torah. Literally are going names. Because you say it in Hebrew doesn't make it a Jewish name. The fact that the word is in Hebrew doesn't make it a good name. A good names have to have a source. All my children, their name is either from the Torah or either after tzaddikim. Obvious, the names have to be applied. I love many of my students, they will never call the name of the child. They call me, they said, Rabbi Wagner, I have 100 of them. You're the only one that called. Look in the Parashat Shavua. Look in the Haftarah. Find anything related to this week Parasha. In from the Torah, tell me what's the names. Obvious. When you're getting into the month of Adar, what's the two common names that you're going to give? Mordechai and Esther. Beautiful. If your name is Esther, most likely A, you're a happy human being, and B, you came in Adar. This is usually the names. Every holidays have the names. Every parasha have the names. But you have to be attached. What's the name of this job that we're talking about? Teshuva. The name is the essence. The name is the essence for what? How do you write Teshuva? Anyone here know Hebrew? How do you write Teshuva? Taf, Shin, Vav, Bet, Hey. Beautiful. Teshuva. How many letters? 5 letters. Each one of us symbolize different job that we have to do until Yom Kippurim. The 5 steps of Teshuva. Why 5? 5 letters. Each letter give you a hint, acronym, a short acronym for our jobs. What do you have to do? The first one is tough. This was my first lecture that I gave here 12 years ago. The first lecture that I gave here, it was on the 3rd floor with Rabbi Yitzchak Yehoshua. It was the lecture about Teshuva. Dr. Daniel, most likely at that time you didn't appear. The first one is tough. Tav stands for, anyone know what Tav stands for? Tamim tiyeh im Hashem Elokecha. Be innocent. Be naive. Start to have a little more faith with God. Everything that will happen in our life, we come with questions, why bad things happen. We always debate and doubt in God. You know what was unique with Avraham Avinu? והאמין בשם ויחשב לו לצדקה. You know how difficult it was for Avraham to believe in God? God tell Avraham Avinu in the first test, leave your house, leave your friends, leave your country, leave, get out of here, go away. I'm going to show you the land, and I promise you, you're going to have children. I promise you, you're going to be rich. I promise you that your name is going to be big. A minute later, what exactly happened? It was hunger in Israel. It was no food. What Abraham Avinu had to do? To go down to where? Egypt. And what exactly happened in Egypt? His wife was kidnapped. God, you promised me. Not Rabbi Wagner promised you. Not Moshe Rabbeinu promised you. Borei Olam. And he didn't promise you in the dreams. Many people. I love Sfaradim. They have unlimited dreams. Unlimited package. Some of them is 25 dreams in one night. Rabbi, you have to sit 3 hours just to hear the dreams. I'm not saying to interpret it, just to hear the dreams. Some people, they are walking dreams. Bnei Ayin Hara. I'm not talking about dreams. Borei Olam promised him direct. Can God change his promise? A minute later? What are you going to say? No, he's not the real God. I have nothing to do with this. What Avraham Avinu is doing? Continue to have faith. God promised him, Ki bi Yitzchak yikare lecha zara. Yitzchak is the chosen son. Yitzchak is the one. A minute later. What do you mean a minute later? After 100 years. After 100 years that the child came, 37 years later, come God to Avraham Avinu and said, Avraham, I need you to kill Yitzchak, to put him in the barbecue. But God is the only child. He's the only Jewish child. When I'm killing him, I'm killing the future of Judaism. I'm killing the promise that you promised me. Did Avraham Avinu ever doubt God? Teshuva meaning Tamim Tiyeh Hashem Elokecha. Be naive. Start to have a little more faith. I'm going to get married and I have no doubt. The reason that this date was cancelled because Borei Olam is making a favor. No, I'm going to have to fight for it. Don't fight. Enjoy the ride. Borei Olam loves you. He wants you to have the best dates. Pray to him. Rabbi, don't worry. I'm going to have connections. Have a connection with the great Shadchan. Matchmaker. Make me a match. My Shadchan is the best one. Have a connection with this one. You don't need connections. What's the only connection you need with? Beautiful. Come on. Don't have my connection, Rabbi Vakni, or this Rabbi, or this. You don't need connections. You have one connection. Borei Olam. Tamim Tiyeh im Hashem Elokecha. The first footsteps of Teshuva is be naive, having a faith. Now, how do you know that you're naive? One time we spoke about it. Dr. Daniel, you're going to hear BAM. If you never heard it, it was awarded to come to the world. How do you know that you're naive? How do you know that Avraham Avinu was a naive man? Naive is not foolish. Naive is not stupid. Naive is a smart man. But he has faith. Faith is above any knowledge. David, how do you know that Avraham Avinu, Daniel, was naive? How do you know that? In which age Avraham Avinu start walking away? Which age was the first test of Avraham Avinu? When God asked him go away, what stage? The Torah mentioned.
I think he was 86, 85.
Not bad, close enough.
75.
Oh shit, the kilo. Okay. 75. When Lena said beautiful. How do you know?
Kids, right?
Huh?
They couldn't have kids? Or that
Oh,
was
yes, but how do you know that 75? Maybe 85. He's right.
Whenever he got his brief, yeah?
Almost.
Yeah,
How do you
the
know?
Malachim were
If
outside.
you know, free breakfast to 3 of you, sponsored by Dr. Daniel. He's in a good mood before. Yeah, no. But you have to know. How do you know that he was 75? What is the proof?
How do you know it's 75?
No, but ask him.
But that's whenever it happened. He was 75 years old.
How do you know?
So that's what it says in the Torah.
How do you know it was give me a proof? Because God told them, what's the first test? Lech, lecha. How much is lech? Lecha? Lech, זה למד כף 50. Lecha, למד כף 50. 50 plus 50 is 100. And which age Avraham Avinu died? 175. So how many years he was walking? 100 years. Meaning God spoke with him. And what's the age? 75. Said you still have 100 years to go because you're going to die in 175. The Torah was clear. Why this number is a lucky number, 75? Why is it so important for us to know 75? Why not 74, 73, 77, 770? Yes, 770, what? Balagan, 770, Chabad, yes. Avraham Avinu was the first Chabadnik. He opened Chabad house, guest house. He used to ask people, my brother, you put the tefillin? How do you know? Listen to this, ladies and gentlemen. I will tell you like this. Do you know why 75 is important? Because they have 3 letters that the numerical number is 75. The first one is Lama. Lamed, Mem, Hey. Lamed is 30. Mem is 40. Hey is 5. How much?
75.
Beautiful. The second question is Ma, Hiye. Ma, Mem, Hey. Mem is 40. Hey is 5. Hiye, Yud and Hey, and Yud and Hey. How much is that? 30. 30 plus 45 is how much? 75. A man that believe in God, do not ask these 2 questions. Why and what's going to be? Rabbi, why the date went wrong? Why the business collapsed? Why? Lama? Lama yomu goyim? The goyim asking why. A Jew never asks why. And the second question, Rabbi, what's going to happen? I'm going to get married. I'm not going to get married. What's going to happen in the future? How many times, Rabbi, what's going to happen with Iran, with the Houthim? What's going to happen with Hezbollah, Mizballah? What's going to happen with those? All day, what's going to happen. Can you control what's going to happen? No. So why so many questions? But we want to know. We need somebody to predict the future. A Jew do not ask my year. You know how I know? You know how you know? Because 75 have another word in Hebrew. Which word? Bitachon. When you have bitachon, bet, tet, chet, vav, nun is 75. When you have faith and trust in God. Avraham Avinu had bitachon. God told him at the age of 75, you can walk. Because now I know that I achieve the footsteps of Teshuva. When we live in this room is to accept and say, God, anything that happened to me last year and anything that will happen to me next year, I accept it with faith. Taf. Tamim tiyeh im Hashem Elokecha. Shin. Shin is the next letter. Shiviti Hashem lenegdi tamid. Do you know what it means, Shiviti Hashem? Shiviti Hashem meaning, remember that God is always watching. You cannot steal money from no one, because God is watching. You cannot speak Lashon Hara. I love it. When you get ladies upset, you know how you speak? They speak like they have a... You know, did you ever saw a woman, I'm married for 23 years, they're whispering. Did you remember your mother when she's upset? She's whispering for 10 minutes. Why do you think that God is not listening to you? When you make your children upset, they always whisper. What do you say? No, I don't want to say. So why whisper? If you want to say it. No. Gentlemen, even in the basement, you have to remember, Teshuva is to remember, that in any place, אם יסתר איש במסתרים, ואנוכי לא אראנו נאום השם. Borolam said, can you hide from me? What do you think, that you go into the basement, or you're going into a room, or you cover the blanket, and you're watching in the phone things that you're not supposed to watch? Do you think that I do not see you? What, can you hide from me? It was embarrassment. It was once embarrassment. I'm not going to mention too many details, but it was embarrassment. I feel so bad. It was a family that somebody went into their camera in the house. You know, somebody, how do you say, tagging? How do you call it? Hacked. Somebody hacked the camera and he spread it all over the community. The husband and the wife had intimacy. They're a husband and wife, what's the big deal? But this guy had it in recording. And he spread it. And you know what the embarrassment it was? When you speak Lashon Hara, do you think that you're not hacked? Borei Olam have camera with unlimited memories, with unlimited, the way that you act, b'chadrei chadarim, the way that you act with your friends, what even you're thinking about, everything is registered. Shini is, remember, Shiviti Hashem lenegdi tamid, ki mimini balemot. Borei Olam, the Almighty God is always watching us. And if you remember that God is watching you, you're going to speak different, you're going to dress different, you're going to look different, you're going to think different. Suddenly everything is going to be different. Do you know why? Because Hashem is watching. Our Father is always watching us. Always. And He enjoyed the watch. And it's a good movie. Some of us have episode after episode. Some of us have 120 years of episode. Every day is new excitements. Every day, balagan. Borei Olam, sit down. And I cannot say it with popcorn, but sitting down in the movie is 120. 120. Coca-Cola, popcorn, American. And He's watching our life. Hopefully, our movie is a good movie. Shiviti Hashem. Number 3, Teshuva is ואהבת לרעך כמוך. Vav. Do you remember how many letters? Taf is be naive, be innocent, have a faith in God. How do you say it in Hebrew in one word? Tamim, tiyeh im Hashem Elokecha. Shin, having a faith and remember that God is watching, listening, everything that you do. How do you call it in simple Hebrew? Shiviti Hashem lenegdi tamid. I always remember that God is watching. Vav is loving your fellow Jew like you love yourself. I say it endless times when we come into synagogues We never pray for us, individual. We don't say Salach li. We don't say Ashiva oti. We don't say Barech alai. What do we say? Barchenu, Refaenu, Shema kolenu. Why plural? I'm sitting down and speaking with God. Why did I need to mention you in my prayers? I need it. I need Parnasah. I need Zivug. You need Zivug, not me. So why are you praying for me? I married Baruch Hashem 23 years. Yeah, my wife, Gan Eden. Baruch Hashem, Gan Eden. What do you pray for me? Why you ask me in your prayer? Do you know why? Because the method of Jews, by nature, and only us, that we always thinking about somebody else. This is when we're coming out on a date, and the date not working. Don't fall down to depression. You know what you have to do? Ask yourself, this guy that I just dated, can he be good to one of my friends? Did you ever ask these questions, simple questions? Because if not, what's the reason you went out with him? It was not good for you. So why you went out? Why you spend 3 hours? If not for this purpose.
Never hurts to try.
What do you mean to try? Well, you're losing 3 hours? So go every day to, what, boy, when I want to lose your times? Imagine if you're coming to me and you speak with me for 3 hours. Say, you know what, I try. You know, why you join in my account? I don't understand. What the chutzpah is this? What do you mean you're not, is that nice? But what does it mean? No, it have to be much deeper reason. The reason can be either or. No, not because of trying. Either or. Either you take message to your life, how to behave with a woman, how to act with women. Many guys need to take a special lesson, but it's not for today. When you're going out on a date, how to speak with a woman, how to have respect and date, how to act like a human being. But this is a different class for men only. Maybe one day we're going to organize such a class. Mrs. Eliyahu of Esther, I will be happy to give a detailed class to the men how to act with the women. Some of them either they don't know what is a woman, or either their education is something is wrong. Houston, we have a problem. They need to educate. I'm not going to give names. I hear certain things. Sometimes my hair is standing from the nonsense that people went. You know, being gentlemen, being sincere. So you have to get a message to your life, how to behave, what to say, what not to say. The one message. But the second one is, כל המתפלל על חברו, והוא צריך לאותו דבר. If you're praying for your friends, and you need the same things, I need it, but I'm not praying for myself. I need to get married, but I'm praying for Eliyahu, and Eliyahu need to get married, and Eliyahu praying for David, and David need to get married, and he's praying for the Badalov. Each one of us is praying for his friends. Boy Olam said, if you is thinking about somebody else before you're thinking about yourself, you know what's going to happen? I'm going to think about you. I'm going to make sure that everybody will think about you. Everybody will think about you. How do you know it from the Torah? Melen, I'm giving you another chance for breakfast. Dr. Daniel said, I see his hand. He wants to spend, but if nobody. How do you know that if you're praying for your friends, that you need something?
He knows it.
Yes. How do you know from the Bible, from the Torah, that if you're praying for somebody else, that you need it, and you don't pray for yourself, you pray for him, you get it first? How do you know it? Breakfast is on the line. Yes. Viva la France! איפה צרפת? And I'm always praying for France. Not for France, I'm praying for the ladies, for the Tzarfatiot, the Tzadkaniot. Ima, how do you know that when you're praying from the Torah, free breakfast, and it's going to be, how do you call it, Dr. Daniel, what the French people have? Baguette? No, not baguette, how do you call it? Carousel. It's going to be special carousel. Viva la France! Yes, how do you know? Carousel? You ready to pay for the carousel? Yalla, b'shat. Yes. Tamar, you cannot think too much. Yalla. Answer the question. The carousel is hot already. It's going to get cold. Yes, how do you know?
What's Sarah made? Something with Sarah? Something with Sarah made?
Okay, what?
Hint, Rabbi, hint.
Yes.
We'll share the breakfast together.
Yes, okay, yalla. Beautiful. What else? What else? Much before. Sarah Imenu had no children.
Oh my God.
You know when exactly she had children? When Abraham Avinu prayed for who? For Avimelech. He prayed for Avimelech, a goy. He said he blessed them. And right after, what exactly happened? Sarah Imenu had the baby. What's the connections?
Yeah,
And the connection is very simple.
Why is Abraham like he prayed for?
No, so. Yitzchak is not belong to Abraham, which is woman rights.
He prayed for
Is the mistake that is done?
No, rather, he prayed for Avimelech, but a goy got something because he prayed for Avimelech, no?
Who got something?
You said, the rabbi said that
Abraham blessed him to have children and to be successful, right?
Okay.
And a minute later, who became pregnant? From Abraham Avinu.
That's what I mean.
Beautiful. So who is the child? Yitzchak. So what Abraham Avinu got? Beautiful. If you pray for somebody else before Borei Olam, this is V'ahavta L'cha K'mocha. Loving your fellow Jew. So we have Tav, we have Shin, we have Vav. What is Bet? Bet is what? Bitachon, we already spoke, beautiful. And other things, I love it. The rabbi said something else, but it's beautiful.
Breakfast.
I love it. Bet is breakfast. We have to do Teshuva every morning to eat breakfast. Ladies, what is bet? Bet is Bechol Derachecha Dayu. You know what I mean? Listen to what we have to do Teshuva. Beautiful explanation, beautiful. What's the meaning? Do you know Hebrew? No. Bechol Derachecha Dayu. You know what I mean? And every steps and every moment in your life, you have to remember God. Can you explain to me what's the meaning? What's the meaning of every step in life? I'm right now eating breakfast. What's the connection between breakfast and God? I'm going to sleep. No beracha. What is beracha doing?
You're sleeping, so you can shower for the next day to serve a shot.
I put this message. Lucky. You don't just eat. You don't just sleep. Rabbi, I want to get married. What do you want to get married? Why do you want to get married? What's the reason? What's the main reason?
So you can build a family.
Because I need somebody to tell me, Jonah Bazam, I love you. And you're so beautiful. This is the reason? So, wrong. Because I need to have a beautiful woman. I need to have somebody to provide and to pay for my expenses. I want to go to a vacation. I want to drive luxury car. This is not a good reason. I'm sorry. Enough to get married. I'm sorry. The reason that beautiful. I want God to fulfill your will. If I'm going to get married, first of all, I'm going to have a husband. Somebody else that I have to care for. And he's going to have a wife. Somebody else that he's going to have to care until 120. If I'm going to have children, I'm going to have children. More Jewish children in the world. They try to kill us, we bring more. If I'm going to get married, I'm going to build a Beit Ne'eman, Jewish homes, religious-wise, Torah, mitzvot. If I'm going to get married, I'm going to have a house that I'm going to have guests. Do you see that? You put God in the pictures. It's not that I want to eat, but if I'm going to eat, I'm going to be stronger to serve you better. If I'm going to sleep, I'm going to be stronger to wake up in the morning, tomorrow morning for Selichot, when everybody sing, Ben Adam Malechani Hatanule. And I'm going to be passionate. I'm not going to be Hatanu. No, I'm going to be awake. And Borei Olam, I need the hours of sleeping. Do you know why I need a sport car? I'm fast. 0 till 100, under 3 seconds, to go to the fifth synagogue faster. This way, in 3 seconds, I'm in the synagogue. To wake up 7, Selichot is 6:40, and 6:39, I wake up, 6:40, I'm in the synagogue. Well, you see, everything that happened in your life, you need to put God in the pictures. You know how you call it? We say it every day in the Selichot. Aseh lemanach, im lo lemanenu. Borei Olam, don't do it for us. Do it for your sake. Whatever you give us, and simple business, and Dr. Daniel will admit, they call it business expense. You know what I mean, business expense? You have a business, and you want the government to pay for everything. What do? The vacation that you go with your wife and children is business meeting. You have a meeting with your wife, how to deal, and how to make the business going, and now the government have to pay for it. Right? You go into restaurant, you're sitting down in a reserve cart, and you're thinking deeply, not how the steak is good, how the business is going to become. So who's paying for it? Business expense. The same like this. You have to put God in the picture sincerely. Bechol derachecha de'em. You have to, every step, remember and know that God is in it. God is like the flavor, you know. God is the taste of the food. It's not only the food, He is the reason for the food. You eat dead food. You know, grow up in a yeshiva. Ladies and gentlemen, you live in America, you are spoiled American boys, or spoiled, nice, but you never know what's mean learning in real yeshiva. 30 years ago, or 40 years ago, when I went into yeshivot, it was nothing to eat. You know what we used to eat? Bread and margarine. And this was their food. Only bread. So how much bread and margarine you can eat? So you know what we did to eat a lot? You cannot, but one slice is not good enough. So what did? We dip the bread and the margarine in the tea. This way it become wet and you can eat it a little more. And then 2 slices or 3 slices. It's no food, nothing to eat. You eat for the sake of God. A minute you put some taste. A minute you take the spaghetti, you take the pizza, and you put some spices. Wow. It becomes, the spice and the reason for the food is Borei Olam. Borei Olam is the food. Borei Olam is the taste. Borei Olam is the sleep. Borei Olam is the house. Borei Olam is everything. Abba, I want to get married. But you know why I want to get married? For your sake. For your sake. I want to build the Jewish homes. It was this woman. You know, we have 5 children. I know a family that have 24 children. There's new families. And they adopted another 3 children. And they're Hundul, they're Ashkenaz. Every child is 2 names, minimum. So we're talking about 27, 52 names, you know? It's like a bus. Now I don't know if the story is about her or not. When she had 16 children, the doctor came to Mrs. Nielsen and he said, okay, she lives in Kfar Chabad. He said, enough. She looked at him, she said, why enough? What's mean enough? He looked and said, I'm sorry, ma'am, it's not normal. You have 16 original children. How many children do you want to have? I don't understand. Every child is a miracle. It's also how do you call it? A risk. How many children? She said, I want to have 6 million. So what's 6 million? For all the Jews that Hitler killed, I want to bring them back. You see, what's that? After she had 24, 25 children of her own, listen to this, original children. 1 wife. She adopted 3 or 4 extra children. It was not good enough. It was not good enough. To put God in the pictures. And the last and not least, last but not least, Hey. Hey stands for what? Taf, Tamim Tiyeh. Shin, Shiviti Hashem, remember that God is watching. Vav, loving your fellow Jew, ואהבת לרעך כמוך. Bet, bechol derachecha de'eu. Remember, in every steps in your life, God have to be knowing and recognized. Hey, hikon likrat Elokecha Israel. You know what mean hikon likrat Elokecha Israel? People come to me and say, Rabbi Wagner, my tefillah in the morning is not, I don't feel it. I don't want to pray. I don't feel. I put the feeling, I don't feel nothing. What's the secret to have a feeling for what we're doing? What is the secret, Yaakov, to have a feeling for what we do?
Tapping into your neshama. Tapping into your neshama.
And how do you do it?
By doing mitzvot. You have to understand.
Why when you're going out on a date, you're nervous, you're shaking? You drink a lot of water, or maybe Red Bulls, or Selech Knafayim. Why? Why you always have excitement when you're going out on a date? Especially the first one. Why when you're going into a business meeting, you're always excited? Nervous, excited, why?
You don't want to make a bad impression.
A and B.
Because
you care.
Fear of the unknown. What the other person thinks. Fear of the unknown.
Fear of the unknown. I love it.
Hopeful.
Something that you're missing.
Is that what the other person thinks?
What do you do before? What do you do before? Prepare yourself. The more preparation, the more excitement. Reality-wise, when you're going into a new job, when you're going into university, new university, imagine yourself now you have a test in Yale or Princeton or Harvard University where Dr. Albert and Dr. Daniel just came out. You're going, I can tell you, Dr. Albert can admit, you know what it means to go and to apply to Yale and to be accepted? You know what the brain you need? I'm not saying that they're good or not. I don't care about this university. After October 7, I don't care about their opinion. I'm just telling you know how many hours and how many dates you don't sleep at night, you study, and then when you come to the test, you are nervous. How do you call it? Preparation. Ladies, how long it take you to prepare when you're going out on a date? A man?
Whole day.
5 minutes. Because of that, man is less nervous. It take him 5 minutes. He put suit. Even to the weddings. How long is it going to take a man to prepare himself to the wedding? Be'ezrat Hashem, when you're going to get married, you know how long? 5 minutes. He put suit, papillon, smiling, ready. That's it. How long it took him to buy the suit? 20 minutes. I went one time for the bar mitzvah of my son. I bought suit and shoes under 5 minutes. I went into the stores. I told them that I ran into Payless. I bought 1 minute. I bought shoes. 4 minutes suit. How long it take a woman to find a dress? Not for a wedding, not for bar mitzvah, regular dress. She's going to the stores. Every stores. She's going. I love it when the dress. Why are you going backward? Beep, beep. She's buying shoes. Did you ever saw somebody with shoes going backward? She's checking the shoes front, back, like this, and then she's going to check all the shoes and even the children's side, and then she's going to the. And after 3 hours, I didn't find nothing. And, before weddings, 6 months she doesn't eat, she doesn't breathe. The fact that she's alive is a miracle. She fights with anyone that exists. And even in the wedding, she cannot be happy. Why we have to live to be perfect? And why the flower is not like this? Well, I tell you ladies, enjoy the weddings. Don't come with this, I don't understand. All your life you're waiting for this moment, and this moment you ruin it. Because they have 17 salad and not 18. Why? Like anyone recognize. I don't know, the flowers were this color and why do you care? This is the most happy moment in your life. Preparation make a difference. You know what do we do in Tefillah? We wake up in the morning, right away we come to pray Shacharit. We didn't have any preparation. We still have a pillow face. You know pillow face? They have the pillow face. The face looks like a pillow. You still have the sign of the pillow. The guys, Habis, the Ramban writes, Rabbi Moshe ben Nachman, a minute before you start to pray, make meditation 5 minutes. Ask yourself, Da לפני מי אתה עומד? לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא. You know, it was one rabbi that was invited when Donald Trump, 4 years ago, it was in Lakewood, New Jersey. They asked everybody to come 3.5 hours before because of security. Now, after they tried to kill him twice, maybe 10 hours before. Security reasons. And everybody stood up in line, waiting just to go in 3.5 hours. And what pictures, if you had, you're lucky. Exactly 10 seconds to see him. And he's not even the president. By the way, he was not the president. To meet the person that is running to be a president. He's not a king. He cannot change nothing in your life. And everybody was so nervous and so excited. You know why? The 3.5 hours preparation made it. When you're coming in and you prepare yourself, Ikon לקראת אלוקיך ישראל. Before you start שחרית, you ask yourself, who that I'm coming to pray? I'm coming to pray to God, this God that gave me the ability to see, to hear, to talk, to have a family, to have children, to have my livelihood. This God that made me so beautiful, smart, talented. Borei Olam, that everything that I have is because of Him. He's not only my God, He's the God of the Jewish nation, and He's not only the God of the Jewish nation, He's Melech Malchei Melachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, the King of all the kings in the world. You understand? And in a split of a second, tomorrow night somebody can offer you shidduch, and it's going to be your shidduch. In a split of a second, Borei Olam can change our life. Wow. Now I understand who I'm praying for. And then nobody's going to have to wake you up in the morning, begging you to come to the synagogue. Do you need to be begged to go to meet Donald Trump? So if Donald Trump, that is not a king, and he's not the president, with all the respect, with a lot of respect, he's one of us, 100%, but with a lot of respect, he deserves to get the respect, but he's not powerful even. If for them, we will never sleep at night. For Borei Olam, Melech Malchei Melachim, the only problem what we're missing is preparation. Before Birkat Hamazon, sit down for a second, 20 seconds, and think. Before you answer Amen, 3 seconds. Before you making beracha, שהכל נהיה בדברו, 1 second, think. עיקון לקראת אלוקיך ישראל. תשובה meaning making the right preparation. When you prepare yourself, the result will be much greater. 5 footsteps of Teshuva. 5 footsteps of relationship between a husband and wife, between a man and a woman that want to get married. The first one is tough. Be naive. Have a little faith on each other. Have a little faith in God, a lot of faith in God. And understand that it's not your choice who is going to be your wife and husband. It's Borei Olam's choice. Don't take too much credit. Rabbi, I know exactly what I want, and I know how to find it. People that they know what they want, usually never find it. It's better not to know. Being a Bachur Yeshiva, I'm telling you, I had 550 students in the Yeshiva, and none of them is married, none of them is divorced, and none of them happen to be happily married. And you know what's the secret of all of us? We didn't know what we're looking for. We saw a woman talking to us. Bachur Yeshiva, the first time we see a woman, she's talking. And why? I do. No, you're not supposed, she's supposed to say, I do. I do. Why, a woman? And I'm looking at her, well, she's talking to me, huh? I'm important man. The guy knew Gemara all day long. What did he know? What did he know? How the woman need to be? That I knew my wife before it. No, we need to go out 3 years to get to know each other. 7 years to decide, and only then he's telling you. You know what I was thinking about it? It took you 10 years to think. You're not good for me. And 5 minutes later, he's getting married with somebody else. This is what usually happens. We got married, 2 weeks, it was Kan Chori. 2.5 weeks, Shani Chori. And 2 months, we got married. And how many dates? 2 dates. 23 years. Rabbi is not normal. Yes, I'm happy to be not normal. Have a faith in God. תמים תהיה, דוקטור דניאל, תמים תהיה, בורא עולם. I believe on you, that's it. You are the one that runs in my life. Not me and not my wisdom. I know what I want. I'm thinking like this. I'm going to do like this. I can get better. Why are you flying on yourself? תמים תהיה עם השם אלוקיך. בורא עולם. Have a faith in you. That's it, בורא עולם. You're the one. 1. Shini's, I remember that God is watching. And he's watching in any place. Gentlemen, even in the car, even in the Tesla that you're driving, like this, even if you have tint windows, Borei Olam is watching, and maybe I cannot see, but God see, God always see. Even if you have the phones, you know, everybody today have a phone, and they put these stickers that you cannot see. Nobody can see except you. Professional. You can play games in the middle of the tefillah. I can see the phone moving like this, and the guys like this. I love it. I remember in the time of COVID-19, when I was teaching my student on the computer, I realized, now we're Israelis, we're not naive. We know. Now they look at me like this, and they show Gemara. Everybody's like this. Wow. What exactly happened? What, the Gemara is so excited? What, I become the best teacher in the world history? Why are they looking at me? And then I realized right away, they have another screen, movies over there, or games. But the movies go. But you know what's nice with our generation? Dr. Daniel, you know what's nice with this generation? I ask him a question, the answer right away. He's like, you're going on a date, and you didn't listen nothing, and she asked you, what did I say? Do you remember the last word at the beginning? I remember. They know how to answer the whole questions. Oh, you're doing. Shiviti Hashem Borei Olam is watching. Number 3, think about somebody else before you're thinking about yourself. Ve'ahavta lereacha kamocha. I told you, ladies, I told you, gentlemen, you're going out on a date and the date is not working. Don't fall down to depression. Ask yourself. Do not ask what the country can do for you. Ask yourself what you can do to the country. Why is the reason, what is the message to my life from this date? And which man will be good for this woman? Or which woman will be good for this man? I know him already. I just dated him for 3 hours. Maybe I can make a shidduch. Maybe I can call Mrs. Eliyahu, Esther, the greatest shadchanit in the whole 5 borough. A gift to the world. A gift. Sincere, sensitive, caring, nudnik, unreal, the whole 9 yards. באמת, and said, Esther, I have a shidduch. I believe between this guy and that guy, we can make. And don't worry, a few minutes later, you're going to see another wedding on the pictures. Our goal this year is 53 weddings, Rabotai, 53 or 52 is even nice Ben, Keminyan Ben. 52 weddings, not dates. ואהבת. And then, בכל דרכיך דרך, בורא עולם, everything that I do, I make you involved. And last but not least, היכון לקראת אלוקיך ישראל. Be prepared. Be prepared before anything that you're doing. Especially before you're praying. Especially before Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippurim. Be prepared. You want to Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur to be a successful one? You want this year to be good? Prepare yourself. It's all according to the preparation. The Almighty God will bless us once again. כתיבה וחתימה טובה לשנה טובה ומתוקה. 9 o'clock exactly. My name is Rabbi Asher Vaknin, and I approve this message.